The Year of the Dog, Chapter 24, and this chapter is called New York City. Since it was summer, Mom and Dad planned for a family vacation after the conference. This time we were going to go to New York City. I was always confused about New York City. Was the city named after the state, or was the state named after the city? Whenever we told people where we lived, we had to say upstate New York, not New York. If we only said New York, they thought we were from New York City. I didn't think that was fair. New York City was a lot smaller than the rest of the state. New York City meant Chinatown, and that meant we could buy all the things we couldn't get in New Hartford. So, Mom did all her grocery shopping. She took us to a Chinese grocery store and told us to pick whatever we wanted. The Chinese grocery store was cramped and crowded, and it had a strange smell, kind of like the way your feet smell after you've walked in the rain. Lissy said it was because of the dried mushrooms in the window. There were blue crabs in a basket by the stairs and boxes of sunshine yellow mangoes and sand-colored Chinese pears on the floor. We had to pick things that could keep for a long time. So Lissy pulled out some canned lychees while I picked up a bag of Chinese popsicles, and Kiki grabbed some Chinese New Year's candy. When we brought the items to the cart, Mom told us to go get more. Get 3 or 4 packs, Mom urged us. They will have to last you the whole year. By the time we finished picking out everything we wanted, we had 2 whole carts full of groceries. It took us a long time to check out, and Dad went to go get the car while Mom paid. The owner of the grocery store came out and helped us put the groceries in the car. He bowed to Mom and thanked her for coming. He gave Kiki, Lissy, and me each a box of chocolate caramels for free. Mom said it was because we gave him such good business, and we had. The whole car was full, and I had to sit on 6 cans of baby corn for the rest of the trip. After we went grocery shopping, Mom and Dad brought us to a Chinese bakery for a treat. Dad ordered 5 diamond-shaped pieces of 1,000-layer cake, 1 piece for each of us. It didn't really have 1,000 layers, but it was soft, sweet, and very yummy. Can someone get a job eating cake, like a professional cake eater, I asked. It was August already, and I still hadn't found myself. No, Mom laughed. Anyway, you would get tired of eating cake all the time. I wouldn't, Lissy said. I can eat cake every day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the whole thing. Chomp, chomp, chomp. You sound just like your uncle, Mom said. He loves cake. Did I ever tell you the story about your uncle and the cake? Uncle Shen and the special cake. Well, when we were kids, we weren't very rich, so we rarely got anything special. Sometimes Grandma gave us little candies or cookies, but never anything much better than that. However, one day a rich auntie came to visit us. She brought us a big box wrapped with a silky bow. Did you know what was in it? There was a cake inside. We had never been lucky enough to have a whole cake before. It was a frosted white rectangle with sugary pink flowers and pastel green leaves. Every inch of that cake held a promise of sweet delight. My sisters, my brother, and I stared at it with big eyes and licked our lips. We wanted to eat it so badly. The worst was my brother, Shin, Uncle Shin. He loved to eat, and he usually got the best of everything. He was the only boy in the family, so Grandma spoiled him. That's mine, he growled, like a starving wolf, his eyes devouring the cake. He wanted that whole cake for himself. While my auntie was talking to Grandpa, Grandma took the cake into the kitchen. She cut it into 8 equal slices, 1 slice for each of us. I couldn't wait. We crowded around her and inspected each slice to make sure they were all the same size. Uncle Shin kept circling as if he was hunting a tiger. I want all the cake, he kept hissing. I want all the cake. Give me all of it. But just as Grandma finished slicing the cake, Auntie called out to say she was leaving. We all had to go and say goodbye. We left the cake on the table and bowed goodbye to Auntie in front of the house. All of us said goodbye and waved, except for Shin. He had disappeared. When we went back to the kitchen, there was Shin. He was devouring the cake, like a hungry pig, crumbs and frosting decorating his mouth and nose. He was such a greedy boy, and he was determined to have the whole cake to himself. But we had only left him alone with the cake for a minute, so he wasn't able to eat the entire thing. Do you know what he did instead? He spit on all the other pieces. It was so gross. He ruined everyone else's piece so he could have it all, and he did. We watched him eat every piece. What a spoiled boy he was. But that night he had a horrible stomachache, and no one felt sorry for him. I would have just eaten around where he spit, Lissy said. Ew, we all said together. Yuck.